cannot stop. A'ja Wilson wins Time Athlete of the Year. And rather than talking about herself, what does she want to do? She wants to down Caitlin Clark. She wants to downplay the impact and disrespect CC.
Just shook the sports world with their Athlete of the Year reveal. A'ja Wilson claimed the crown for her jaw-dropping dominance. And yes, she earned every ounce of praise heading her way. But here's where the story takes a darker turn. Instead of keeping the focus on Wilson's brilliance, the article threw shade that landed like a sledgehammer aimed straight at Caitlin Clark. They painted her influence as toxic, even racially divisive, words heavy enough to ignite a storm overnight. And then, like a plot twist no one saw coming, they tried to erase the seismic impact she's had on the WNBA. As if the league's rise hadn't been fueled by her every move. But here's the twist. Caitlin didn't launch a fiery response. No viral post, no long-winded statement. Instead, she chose Instagram, and with a single post, she said everything without saying a word. It was subtle, devastating, and brilliantly calculated. This is where it gets layered, where the story becomes irresistible. Do you think her quiet, almost ghost-like response carried more power than any public rebuttal ever could? Or did the world deserve to hear her roar directly? Let's peel back the layers, because this isn't just sports drama, it's a chess game, a cultural earthquake, and the stakes couldn't be higher.
Wilson, congratulations, Time Athlete of the Year. Now, this would have been a great moment for A'ja Wilson to talk about her accomplishments, etc. But what did A'ja Wilson want to do? She wanted to take shots. She wanted to fire off and get her.
Time magazine drops their Athlete of the Year feature, shining the spotlight on A'ja Wilson. On paper, it should have been nothing but pure celebration, a flawless tribute to dominance. And let's be real, Wilson's year was historic. A third MVP? Check. Another championship with the Las Vegas Aces? Check. Dominating the Olympics, turning the global stage into her personal highlight reel? Absolutely. And of course, she sealed it all with the tournament MVP, leaving a record-breaking trail that demanded applause from every corner of the world. But here's where the story takes a sharp left turn. Instead of letting Wilson bask in deserved glory, Time made the baffling choice to drag Caitlin Clark into the narrative, and not gently. They threw her under the spotlight for reasons no one can logically explain. The reaction? Explosive. Fans erupted across social media, calling out the move, seeing straight through the manufactured drama. The outrage is real, the tension is palpable, and the fallout is only just beginning.
So then we dive deep into it, and it seems like there's some paragraphs from this article that put down Caitlin Clark in order to prop up A'ja, which is crazy because if you guys remember, Caitlin Clark was Time's Sportsperson of the Year.
For this one. The article hits the stands and immediately drops a bomb. Caitlin's rise in the WNBA sparked a toxic, racially divisive narrative, positioning her as almost solely responsible for rescuing a league built on the legacy of a predominantly black player base. That's not a summary, that's a direct, uncut quote. And reading it? It's staggering, because here's the thing, Caitlin has spent the last year battling exactly this kind of narrative. She's gone out of her way, repeatedly, publicly, to make it crystal clear that she refuses to be the face of division or controversy. She consistently honors the legends who came before her, the players who paved the road she now walks on. Every interview, every press conference, every single media interaction has been marked by respect, gratitude, and humility. And yet, here we are again. Another piece, another attempt to twist her story, to cast her as some divisive villain, a portrayal that couldn't be further from reality. The audacity, the disconnect from truth, it's almost cinematic in how brazen it is done.
Helped the WNBA hit milestone TV and attendance figures, but Clark's emergence created a toxic, racially divisive narrative that she was almost singularly responsible for salvaging a league whose foundation had been built by mostly black player base. I'm going to stop right there because, like I said, Caitlin Clark was Time Sportsperson of the Year last year. And in that article, she was asked multiple times about these narratives around Caitlin and the racial divide that happens in America and specifically around women's basketball. It has gotten so insane and she has denounced it so many times. She said it in the Times article that she doesn't want her name to be used for these different negative and divisive things that it's used for. And the fact that Time magazine named her Sportsperson of the Year in 2024 and then in 2025 turn around and put something like this in an article, by the way, you guys, that is supposed to.
The article throws up A'ja Wilson's words, and I'm quoting directly. It wasn't a hit at me because I'm going to do me regardless. I'm going to win this MVP. I'll win a gold medal. Y'all can check my resume. It was more so, let's not lose the recipe. Let's not lose the history. It was erased for a minute. Okay, I get it. A'ja's intentions sound sincere. She's deeply proud of the WNBA's legacy, genuinely wants the league's history honored, and she's passionate about giving credit to the legends who built it from scratch. That's admirable, no question. But here's the part that's infuriating. Nobody, literally nobody with credibility, has claimed that the WNBA didn't exist before Caitlin Clark showed up. The truth? Caitlin didn't erase history, she ignited it. She injected a level of attention, excitement, and unprecedented visibility that the league had never seen before. Facts don't lie. Before Caitlin, the WNBA was steady but slow. Average viewership around 400 to 500K per game, arenas half empty, jersey sales modest, and barely a ripple in mainstream coverage. Then Caitlin arrived, and everything exploded. Suddenly, some games were drawing 2.5 million viewers, numbers that are jaw-dropping, historic, undeniable. The Indiana Fever went from one of the league's least-watched teams to a full-on sensation, selling out arenas coast to coast with fans traveling just to witness her in person. This isn't hype. This isn't narrative spin. These are facts, cold, hard, inescapable numbers proving that Caitlin Clark changed the game forever.
I've had really good perspective on everything that's kind of happened in my life, whether that's been good, whether that's been bad. And then obviously coming to the WNBA, like I've said, I feel like I've earned every single thing that's happened to me over the course of my career. But also, I grew up a fan of this league from a very young age. Like, my favorite player was Maya Moore. Like, I know what this league was about. And like I said, like, it's only been around 25 plus years. So I know there's been so many amazing Black women that have been in this league, and continuing to uplift them, I think, is very important. And that's something I'm very aware of. And like I said, like, I try to just be real and authentic and, share my truth. And I think that's very easy for me. Like, I'm very comfortable in my own skin.
But this is where Time magazine really tried to play mind games with everyone. They pointed out that Caitlin missed nearly the entire 2025 season due to injury, and, as if to drive the point home, made sure to highlight that Aya Wilson didn't celebrate her absence. Yet here's the kicker. Viewership for both the regular season and playoffs didn't just hold steady, it remained strong. And that's exactly the problem. Time is subtly trying to claim this proves the WNBA could survive without Caitlin, implying her influence was somehow overstated. But anyone paying attention knows the truth. Her arrival didn't just boost numbers, it reshaped the entire league. To suggest otherwise? That's narrative manipulation at its finest.